Welcome to another episode at Consciously Evolving Enterprises. As always, I am your host, Mr. Ryan Dillon Brasington. These stories are unscripted, so please enjoy my mistakes and my mispronunciation. Hopefully you guys get a laugh as well as a lesson learned out of this story. So this story is about a friend of mine called Wade. Wade, we always love to call him Wado. He was at every party. He's hanging out with everyone all the time. He was everybody's friend. We're always playing football with him. He'd be with us down at the beach, hanging out at the beach, coming surfing all the time. He had himself a steady girlfriend. He had his license. We're all kind of friends. We all hung out, and everyone looked up to Wado in that way too. Him always being a bit of a show off and wanting to be the one that always done that thing first, and that guy to jump into the cold water or jump off the bridge first. Anyway, so Wado decided him and his mates were going to go out one night and they were going to go mushroom picking. Anyway, so it's a dark night, full moon. They decided they're going to go out and collect some mushrooms. These are magic mushrooms that grow fresh out of cow patties. So that's cow poo, man. These guys decide, go and collect mushrooms fresh out of poo. The methane gas leaks out of the poo and actually intoxicates the mushrooms to make them quite potent and hallucinogenic. So anyways, Wado and his friends decide to go and collect some of these mushrooms. They got a whole bunch full and, making their way back to the car. They're all happy and thinking, we can sell some of these and, we can take some of these. It's going to be a great night. We'll get home and we'll start cooking them up. And Wado, being the show off that he is, he holds up, one of the mushrooms and he goes, "Hey guys, look at this." And he takes a big bite out of one of these raw mushrooms. And, the guys, all their jaw drops and they're like, "No, Wado, you can't do that, man. You'll make yourself sick. You're going to vomit. You'll be tripping for days." Anyways, he said, no, everything's fine. Don't worry, guys. I'll be all right. By the time they get back to the car, Wado's already starting to feel the effects of this mushroom digesting in his guts. So, anyways, they get in the car and he's, "I'm not feeling too good, guys." And, pull over. And he, genders outside of the car and vomit anyway, get back to the house. And these guys are thinking, "Oh, Wade, what have you done?" And he's tripping out, man. He's saying that he's seeing diamonds smash in front of his face and, all these colors and lights. He's tripping out and he's feeling sick. And then they get him back to the house and they try and lay him down. And, he won't lay down. He's trying to fight the sheets like it's some type of demon attacking him. And he's freaking out. And anyways, they think, well, we've got to call the ambulance now. It's time. Like, we can't push back any further. We've got to tell them, that Wado's had some magic mushrooms and he's absolutely tripping balls, man. So anyways, they call the ambulance and the ambulance turn up and they give Wado a sedative and he settles down. He goes in the hospital for a few days. And after that, he comes out after a few days in the hospital and Wado isn't the same anymore. He's moving a lot slower than what he used to. He's talking a lot slower than what he used to. And, he'll be like, "Hey, Wade, what are you up to, man?" And he'd be like, "Hey, guys, not much." We're like, "Whoa, okay, well, you come around and hang out, man. We'll have a few drinks and, we'll have a laugh." So we will. You come around and, "Hey, guys, how you doing?" And yeah, we're good, Wade. We're good. And, there's a month pass and we realized that Wado's condition hadn't changed. He was still the same. He was very slow in his speech. And when we spoke to, his relatives, his mom, she said that his system had been delayed. So the messages from his brain to his body had slowed down and are no longer reacting the same way that they used to. And we're all shocked thinking, "Oh my God, has Wado got brain damage?" And his mom said, "Well, hopefully he will make a full recovery." 2 months pass and we still haven't seen any improvement in Wado. And we're all starting to feel a bit sorry for the guy, So we still invite him around and, invite him to the beach, but he's no longer swimming in the water. He's now sitting on the side of the water, and we're saying, come play football, Wade. We'll have a good time, Wado. Come play footy. And, you say, "Yeah, I'll come and watch, guys." Well, you'd say, "Oh, yeah, I'll come and watch, guys." And he'd come and watch, and he'd sit on the side of the field, and he'd see us playing, and he'd be there smiling, but that's all he'd be doing. He'd come over to parties, and we're sitting around the fire, and we're all laughing and giggling, and he's just sitting there, and he's got a smile on his face, but that's all he's doing. And after a while, he ended up losing his girlfriend. He couldn't drive anymore. His reaction time was now delayed, so he actually lost his license. And we're starting to see his life crumble around him. He ended up moving back in with his mom, from his little apartment that he had, because he couldn't afford the rent. He couldn't go to work anymore at KFC. He lost his job. So we all loved Wado, and we said, don't worry, man, come around. Like, we want to see you. Like, we feel for you, man. So anyway, Wado continued to hang around, and 6 months passed, and we still hadn't seen any improvement in his condition. So anyway, what we decided, we still love Wado. We're going to hang around. And for years, we still had Wado hanging around. And unfortunately, 4 years had passed, and Wado decided one afternoon when his friend came around to jump in this vehicle, and he didn't realize at the time that his friend that was driving was heavily intoxicated. And there were three other friends in that car, including the driver. Anyways, they started, driving around, getting to where they wanted to go, going for a cruise. And the driver himself started to show off and lost control of the vehicle, and ended up wrapping that vehicle around a telegraph pole in a place called Gorrigan, which is really unfortunate. And not only did Wado lose his life, but 3 other guys in that car did as well. And the only survivor was the driver. And this driver happened to be a cousin of mine. So there's the struggle of me having to deal with my cousin, who killed one of my very good friends, a very best friend that we all dearly loved and cared for. So don't drink and drive. Don't eat mushrooms fresh from the cow patty, because it will cause permanent long-term damage. And keep Wado in mind next time you do decide to experiment. And always remember, start small. Thank you. Tick, like, subscribe. Cheers.